my name is Mars, and welcome back to Strange Antiquities. Last time I used a hint, which I'm a little bit embarrassed by. It was an unhelpful hint. It told me something I already knew, and I ended up solving the whole thing on my own, but it was a low moment that I'm hoping not to repeat this time. What is this? This is the map of the castle. I wish I could just have it down here. Yeah. Especially since I'm gonna have to look at it now. Up the stairs, left. Hold on, where's the clue? Up the stairs, left, then left again. Second on the right is where I spend each night. Okay. Looking at this, I see that there are quite a few stairways here. Not just the ones that go up and down here, but there are some spiral staircases as well. We can start by looking at this again. So, there are so many staircases. This goes down to the vaults. That's not on the map. Up the stairs, left, and then left again. Okay, so we can try this set of stairs again. Up the stairs, left, and then left again. Second on the right is where I spend each night. So I'm assuming it's the second door on the right, in which case it would be here. Yes! This bedroom looks like it hasn't been used for some time. A thin layer of dust coats the furnishings and cobwebs decorate every corner. Pulling back the thin curtains lets some light in, but more importantly, they reveal a macabre item that has been hiding on the windowsill all this time. Yuck. Are these fingers also from Holgar? They seem the same size as his withered hand. Helena Appleton. I can never get any peace in my house. When am I to find time to do my writing? I've tried beeswax, but that makes my ears sore, and besides, I can still hear the shouting and banging at all hours. I heard you might be able to help me. St. John's Anvil. Let's give Jupiter a pet. I saw there's also an achievement for putting the mask, I assume it means this mask, the Holgen Grim, on Jupiter. I'll try that later, but I'm gonna leave him barefaced for a while just to preserve his cuteness a little bit. Alright, St. John's Anvil. These items have much in common with the St. John's poppy plant of the same name, a fact that is reflected in their designs. They have quite different uses, however. Whereas the plant helps to overcome deafness, an anvil will dampen sound. They can even be tuned to filter out certain noises, but allow others to be heard still. Okay. So I'm guessing it's not the bat. Every sound has become both louder and clearer. I think that's the opposite of what I want. But we are looking at the scent and sound part of it. Alright, let's see. Is there a fact that is reflected in their design? So I'm looking for something that looks kind of like this flower. This is kind of floral. Nothing to remark. So is this. Sounds are muffled in its presence. I'm guessing it's the leaves. The leaves that have these, like, two little bumps on the side. Yeah. Pretty sure it's this one. Let's label it. St. John's anvil. An anvil like the bone in the ear. Yay. The leaves in the design are similar to the leaves in the sketch of the plant. Yep, closer inspection reveals that it does indeed muffle sounds. Okay. Let's put this here. I can leave the hologram here. It looks nice there. Barton Potter. Important person. You must be the thaumaturge's apprentice. I bet he's a hard man to work under. Yeah, he leaves me for several days at a time. He's helped me out more than once in the past, though. And speaking of the past, my eye has been aching again lately. That can't be a good sign. I'd be willing to make a fair trade for an Elva stone if you have one. Ooh, are you gonna give me an artifact in exchange? Elva stone. Elva stone can be used to relieve the discomfort caused by otherwise incurable ailments such as Braxis or burning blood. The planetary metal used in these items is associated with the Selenic discipline, a connection that is also reflected in their design. Okay. Not that. I wanted to see if there are any other entries for these things that are mentioned. Nope, just Elva stone. A lot of things mention Selenic. I'm guessing we're just looking for something that has, let's see, this symbol on it. Triangle with a circle, smaller, bigger circle on the bottom. Or maybe it has moons on it again. Alright, the planetary metal used in these items. Okay. So let's look at things with moons on them again. Bronze. I doubt that's Selenic in nature. Gold. This won't have metal on it. Yeah, it's just wood. Okay. Let's take a look. Is there a Selenic gemstone? I don't recall. Jade is a stone of earth. Stone of protection and enveloping night. I know that we saw the moonstone in one of them. Sign of protection and enveloping night. But that one had bronze, and I don't think it's bronze. Stone of night and darkness. Oh. It does say Selenic on top. That's... yeah. Let's take another look, though. The planetary metal used in these items. I'm gonna think on this just a moment more while I read this guy's profile. The Relic Hunter, Barton Potter. Intelligent, affable, heroic. These are the words that Barton Potter would use to describe himself. Irresponsible, impulsive, and foolhardy are some of the more tasteful terms that those who have dealt with him might use. One thing is not in dispute. He knows how to track down objects, and he certainly knows their worth. He's also no coward, and he bears the scars to prove it. He's one of the few who have ventured into the depths of the catacombs and lived to tell the tale. And tell the tale he does at the slightest provocation. Okay. So you're a little foolhardy, it would seem. This has a moon. Planetary metal associated with the Selenic discipline. Oh, Elva stone. We're looking for something made of stone. So it could be this. Or it could be this. I would guess that silver is more planetary than... this has a stone too. Of the three, silver, gold, and bronze, I would guess that silver is the planetary one. Okay, I guess right. The metal is silver, associated with the moon. Where do we find... Is there any clue we have that lists metals associations? Because I don't typically associate silver with the moon. I mean, I kind of made a guess, but I can't really point to any tangible evidence I have that would have made that guess more valid. I don't know. We'll keep it in mind. Oop, we got a new item. What was it called? Elva Stone. Maybe I'll spend a little time putting stuff in alphabetical order later. Because it's bothering me a little bit that they're not. Okay, next customer. Hi, Verona. Oh, let's put this away. I've been doing some reading. See what you make of this. Okay. Ambra. That fisherman they found yesterday had been up in Wyatt Beck, so I'm going to see if I can find anything out there. Here I go again, sticking my nose into trouble because I don't seem to be able to listen to that part of me that says, go put the kettle on and let someone else deal with it for a change. It's bloody-minded arrogance to follow that thought up with, but there isn't anyone else. But here we are, and here I am. They'd do it all wrong anyway. Okay, since you took the time just to give me that, I'm guessing we should probably take a look at it and maybe even try to identify it. These items cause mental fog, a withering of intellect and thought. They are slow to work, requiring several hours to have any effect. Through prolonged use, they can cause the whites of the eyes to turn black and the subject to become deeply disoriented. They produce a noctic field. Ugh. I hope we don't have anything like that. Are they real severed fingers? Surely not. I don't like it. It makes me feel uneasy. I mean, we should probably inner perception this. Let's take a look at some of the new stuff we have. Huh. Yeah, I don't think we have an Ombre yet. Let's keep that for later. I have been wearing a pendant that I found in the library, and it does something to me. It gives me an appetite for reading that I cannot control. I was lost in the library for 3 days without eating or sleeping before I managed to take the pendant off and escape. Yikes. It is rather pretty, though. Someone told me I need a Cusick purifier and that this is the place to get one. Okay. Cusick purifier. A small topaz gemstone, known as the Eye, is placed in a strong-smelling liquid, usually some potent barley spirit or vinegar. Alright, so I'm immediately thinking of the bowl we have that is kind of stinky. Small tokens, such as rings or amulets perhaps, submerged in the liquids and left for a full cycle of the moon, are cleansed of simple imbued curses or hexes. Of course, there is a limit to the effectiveness of this process. It has a smell like rotten egg. What about this? Nothing to remark. Ah, this smells like vinegar, doesn't it? It has a strong odor, and when I shake it, it rattles. That might be... Yeah, I'm guessing it's either this or this. Neither of them have topaz on them, do they? Topaz, stone of strength, pale yellow. Would you describe these as pale yellow? Pinkish? No. Okay, this specifically mentions rotten eggs, and rotten eggs, that's not really what I think of when I think vinegar, so let's take a look at this symbol though before we make any calls. Vinegar. Okay, yeah, so this is a thing of vinegar. The label bears a symbol for vinegar. Closer inspection reveals there's a small object rattling inside. Now, is she gonna have to take out that object and put in her pendant that she found? I hope the thing that's in there already isn't worse. Okay. Let's put this over here. Simone Green, I remember you from the first game. You're the librarian, aren't you? I've been working on something that you might find interesting. Did you know that nobody knows who built Strange Antiquities? It's very old. Perhaps the oldest building in Undermere, according to some accounts. Are you going to help me figure out how to open something interesting? Even Eli doesn't know all of its secrets. I've been decoding a journal that he found. It's slow work, but I've made a breakthrough recently. Have you discovered the plinths below the counter? I have. I have learned that they can be used to access the shop's hidden depths. And this journal holds some of the keys. Here's something I discovered late last night. See what you make of it. Alcove key, horn, shackle, and evocant. We have both of those. And then a moon something. The writing is dense and spidery, so it's not always easy to decipher. Okay. So I was guessing it was going to be things that had the protection symbol on them, because that's what's written here, but I'm guessing that it's just written here because for our protection. Okay, but it wants an evocant, horn shackle, evocant. I know we found that before. Evocant. Put it there. Let's read about Simone before we try and figure out the whole riddle. Simone finished reorganizing the Ambleside Library and came to Undermere in search of a new challenge. Right, we had to go out of town to visit her before. She took up swimming in the lake after hearing about the health benefits of cold water, but soon found that she preferred the health benefits of a warm blanket, a roaring fire, and a good book. She manages the collections at the Wordsworth Library, following in her mother's footsteps by taking a special interest in occult writings. Oh, following in her mother's footsteps? Were you not the librarian before? I mean, I remember it being a green. I don't know, maybe she looks familiar. And I guess we have Verona too, who is the same general appearance and age, so it's not like there's a time gap between the first game and this one. So this is probably the same person. I'm overthinking it. Okay, a moon something. Do we have any moon somethings? We have a moonstone guardian, which I think we have for the banishment of Hobbs' fear and Noctic sight. These tend to take the form of a comforting guardian. Hold on. Noctic sight. You? No. I'm gonna put down everything that seems comforting here. And if I don't find it, can I put you there, Jupiter? No. No. That'd be silly. It's a Moonstone Guardian or something else that starts with moon. That maybe we don't have yet. Or maybe something else with moon in the name. No, moon is the only one with something in the name. Hold on. Moon hearts. It could be a moon heart. Because remember, the Selenic totem is also called a moon heart. Haha! Yes! Good thing I remembered that. Ooh, we got more stuff. Let's see. Ooh, some tiles. Okay. But we got some more stuff in the back. Okay, we need to put them down. We need to put the 3 things down if we want to... If we want to go back there. So, maybe we should keep these right here. Strong odor. Sharp but not entirely unpleasant. Nothing to remark. Alright, at the very least we have a little extra storage space. Let's bring these out here. And these little tiles too. We're probably going to need these for something, these little tiles. Alright, nice discovery. Let's archive that. And talk to Jim Wolfe. After years of working in a thundering mill, I'm afraid I'm quite deaf now. I tried St. John's Poppy, but I'm looking for a more permanent solution. We just learned about St. John's Poppy. I would love to be able to hear my niece's laughter. Hearing charm. I'm guessing it's the bat. It's gonna be the bat. A simple trinket that amplifies sounds. Take the form of animals known for their hearing. Yep, it's gonna be the bat. While generally used by the hard of hearing, they are a curiosity that can be enjoyed by young and old alike. And of course, they have more devious applications too, making it possible to eavesdrop on private conversations. I'm just gonna... Yeah. Nice. Nice successful day. Wasn't it, Jupiter? Alright. That went much more smoothly than last time. At the camp that night, one of the pair had awoken with pain in his left eye. He was alert to the threat at once, recognizing 2 things at the same time. 1, a part of his mind was not his own, and 2, the casket wanted to be opened. Is one of the pair him and his horse? Oh, his fellow adventurer. Okay. I always have to refresh myself on what this story is. So they found the black casket, the rider and his companion. And one of them woke up with a pain in his left eye. Could he be... Could the one with the pain in his left eye be the guy with the eye patch? Potter? It almost feels like a intentional red herring. This is very intricate. It's like a doll of some kind. Or a statue. The maiden in the tower points the way. I am buried among the trees. Alright. I'm gonna guess we're looking in town now. The maiden in the tower. Galfrey's tower, perhaps? Is there another tower? And is Gleeston Castle on this map? It is not. So... yeah, it's not like I can look at, like, what's in Hardwick Tower for anything on this map. Okay, so I'm guessing that we're looking for Galfrey's Tower. Galfrey's Tower. I climbed the narrow winding stair to the top of the tower and rewarded with views across Lake Undermere. I am not alone in the tower. Standing in the center of the circular platform is a statue of a young woman, the maiden. Her outstretched arm points due east across the rooftops of Undermere and beyond. Okay, so due east from the tower. Due east in the wood. There? Yeah! I find what I'm looking for in a small cavity carved into a sturdy oak tree. I look around, half expecting to see someone, but there is nobody there. I take my prize and leave, feeling my mood lifted by the smell of damp moss and the gentle rush of wind through the treetops. Pretty. Okay. Hello, Verona. I walked up the beck a mile or so in the cold and wet yesterday and found a section with a handful of dead fish floating up in it. Belly up and blackened they were. Hold on, I just had a thought, but I'm gonna wait for her to finish talking. I'm not sure what to make of it, but I don't like it. I'm on my way to Calgarth Hall now. I spoke to Dr. Robertson earlier, and she said the 2 women they found there were in the same state as the others, in a trance and eyes all black. Before I go, Anna Bryant asked me to drop off this. Okay, so she doesn't want us to find the amber right now. She brought it to us to indicate to us that the Umbra is the thing that is causing these... Are they deaths? I think at least the first guy died, but it's causing people to be deeply disoriented and for the eyes to turn black. So the implication is being Verona has found the cause. Let's open this letter, though. When we were kids, we used to explore an abandoned house on the lakefront. We'd take a boat out to the northern tip of Naylor Island and row across from there. You know the one I'm talking about. Second from the left in the row of 4. Okay, we're going to need to look at the map for this. I found myself outside its door 3 days ago, and I went inside for old time's sake. I wish I hadn't. It always had an ominous feel to it. It has taken me the last 3 days to summon the courage to write this letter, but I think it's better you see for yourself what's out there. Okay. Naylor Island. The northern tip of Naylor Island and row across from there. Second from the left in the row of 4. So here? I don't know exactly what I was expecting to find. Anna's letter was vague after all, but I certainly wasn't prepared for this. In an alcove of the house, peering out through loose mortar and crumbling brick, is a macabre shrine of sorts. The skull of a stag is mounted above the opening, its antlers smeared with a dark red substance, and large melted candles pool out into the open floor on either side. In the center of the altar there is a small iron chest, rusted and fused to the floor. It's clear that it has been here for a long time. I do not see any hinge or keyhole or any way of opening it at all, but after a while I notice an inscription that simply says, I open to the voice. Okay. Let's go to the index and look for voice. Voice, voice, voice. Nothing. Okay. Voice of Cernunnos. It's a pagan god of forest and nature, typically depicted as a man with the antlers of a stag. So it makes sense that he would be associated with this, with this item. Let's look for the voice of Cernunnos, and then I think I'm gonna spend a little time alphabetizing. The chest opens to reveal a golden totem. I can't imagine who would have stashed it here or why, but it doesn't look like they're coming back for it anytime soon. Ooh, kitty! Jupiter, we found you a friend! I'm gonna put it right here next to Jupiter. Okay. So let's see, we can't put much on this shelf, but yeah, a lot of these are towards the front of the alphabet. I love putting things in alphabetical order. That's one thing you should know about me. The alphabet is my friend. Hunter's Boon probably goes over there. Vestiger. Hearing Charm is probably towards the beginning of the alphabet, so we'll put that over here. Daedalus Link, Ossic Ring, Shadowhold, that's toward the end. There are things that you notice when you spend a lot of time putting stuff in alphabetical order. For one, a lot of things, more things than you would expect, start with the letter S. And very surprisingly few things start with the letter N. And that this should be like, ooh, Binding Seed, that's towards the beginning. We have a lot more space over here, so I'll probably leave more. Orford Spire, that goes O-R-O-S. Sleep Vessel, I'll put some of the S's over here. Guise of Lillian, that would go G-H, so that would go before the H. This shouldn't take too long. Let me have this. Libula Aries Remnant, that's at the very beginning of the alphabet. That tree scared me the first time I looked over there. Yikes. And H-I. I'll put that there. Nice. Everything is right in the world. Alright. Next customer, Lester Crowley. I apologize if this inquisition is an imposition to your disposition. Oh, God. It is not my intention to bring to your attention a matter of contention. I have an inclination to perform an incantation of flirtation. Oh, my God. You are the worst kind of man. For your part, a leaden heart of the thalamic art. Like, not only is he looking for a love potion, basically, but he has this put on, like, affectation of the rhyming thing. Like, it's really obnoxious. It's not like I'm against that kind of thing entirely. I don't know if anyone else played the game Date Everything, but one of my favorite characters in that game was the television. Telly. He talked in all rhyme, and I thought he was hilarious. But for a dating game, he wasn't actively trying to get in my pants most of the time, so it didn't really bother me. Lead Heart. These items depict the god Cernunnos. We just heard about him in his non-human form. They are heavier than they look due to a core of lead hidden by a more modest exterior. Okay, so I'm guessing it's the thing that looks like a stag. They are said to kindle romantic interest and are sometimes given as wedding gifts. Okay. Is this heavier than it seems? Nothing to remark, nothing to remark. Nothing to remark, nothing to remark. Let's take a look at Sir Nunos again. There's Sir Nunos in his human form. I have Sir Nunos. Alright. I mean, if he has the antlers of the stag, I would guess that his non-human form would just be a stag. Is it dumb to choose this, even though it doesn't say it's heavier than it seems? Oh! We have scales. It is heavier than 2 pounds. Okay. I always forget about the scales. Using the index, I can remind myself that Sir Nunos has antlers, suggesting his non-human form could be a deer. Using my weighing scales, I can confirm that the item is heavier than it looks. Nice. Angus Eaton. Oh, you're not Eli. I'm returning an item he asked me to repair. The mechanism was mangled, but I have replaced all the springs and given it a clean. Good as new. Thank you. Ooh, it's pretty. Oh, I thought it looked familiar. It looks a little bit like that skull with a flower around it that is used in a lot of the promotional material. Okay. I want to figure out how to open this thing. Let's see. There's nothing for flower. The ethereal key is designed to be hidden from prying eyes. When activated by moving the object in a circular motion, the key is revealed by its gemstone of light. Well, that certainly isn't a gemstone of light. It has a black streaked gemstone. I really want to know how to open this thing. Let's see, I think that was obsidian. No, not obsidian, onyx. The stone of the night and darkness. It's Noctic. Okay. Let's look for Noctic. Ambra, Selenic Totem, Sleep Vessel. Those are things that we've... Those are things that we have figured out already. How about Dark? Shadow Hold? No. Sunbond, we figured out. We might not have what we need to figure this out yet. But I want to. I want to be smart. Night? Maybe the word night? No. Or onyx. Maybe it's just onyx. Nope. Alright. The index isn't really any help, but I'm gonna keep a close eye on you, buddy. Hi, Eli. Someone was just looking for you. It wasn't my intention to leave you unattended for this long, but I'm afraid that I'm going to need to rely on you for a little longer. The Order of the Black Veil seems more concerned by the ravens and the black-eyed state than that Mr. Hungerford was found in. They said that it would take a very powerful force indeed to upset them like that. Unfortunately, they either weren't able or weren't willing to talk any further on the subject. I was hoping to avoid it, but I must go to Oxford and the Bodleian Library. I will be gone for a few days at least, perhaps longer, but you seem to be handling yourself well here. I do not see eye to eye with the head of collections at the Bodleian, but I do know that he takes an interest in horticulture. I will take him a Scythian charm to smooth things over between us. Alrighty? Scythian charm. Older Scythian charms are carved out of wood, but the more powerful designs make use of the planetary metals. No two are identical. They are used by horticulturalists to encourage stubborn plants to thrive. They change with the weather, usually quite cold, but warm and tingly to the touch when it is raining. Is it raining? It is raining. So it should be warm and tingly to the touch. We could also put it next to one of our plants to see if that helps it thrive. Hard and rough. Hard and rough. It's none of these. Rough. Okay. It could be wood or it could be metal. Cool and smooth. Warm. Cool, warm, warm, cool. Okay. It does say that it's warm, that one. So keep it in mind. Hard and cool, rough, hard and cool. No. Hard and cool. Pitted. I'm looking for something warm. Warm and smooth. It does mention this being warm. That could be something. Warm and vibrating with energy. And it has images of plants on it. Alright, let's try and place it next to... Okay, that doesn't do anything. You'd think it would. I'm gonna try this. Yes. Okay. Was it a charm? Scythian charm? I don't know. Yes. Alright. Let's put it in alphabetical order. Here we have... It would go here. Ooh, I'm so proud of my alphabetical order. Hello, doctor. I'm at a loss with these patients. They aren't responding to anything I've tried so far, and I haven't been able to find anything in the literature that fits their symptoms. I'm finding that they become violent if they aren't restrained, and they are always trying to leave. If nothing else, Stranthium tea from a restful mether might get a moment of lucidity out of them, but if you got any ideas, then I'm all ears. Restful mether or witch's finger. Okay. A mether is the thaumaturge's link to the inner mind. A hot tea made from the Dranthium plant is drunk from them. I remember Dranthium from the first game, taking on different properties depending on the type of mether. This particular type can be used to enter a meditative state and bypass the rush and clutter of consciousness, promoting clarity of thought. Okay, so that's the restful mether, and the other one was the witch's finger. Witches' fingers are said to be the severed digits of the Witch of Undermere. They are capable of inflicting intense pain, but the goal is supposedly purification of the body. A most unpleasant experience, but a last resort that has cured some and finished off others. Now, I know I said last time that I'm trying to just give them what they say they need. Like she says we need a restful ether. But in this case, she is also prompting us to think, do you have any better ideas? So, I think I will give them the witch's finger. I mean, it's severed fingers, so I'm guessing it's this. Let's figure out what the restful ether is first. It's probably one of the wooden cups that we got from the back, the hidden shelf. Enter a meditative state and bypass the rush and clutter of consciousness, promoting clarity of thought. Okay. Nothing to remark on this one. Nothing to remark on this one. Nothing to remark on this one. Strong odor. Sharp aroma. Sharp aroma. I don't know how I would even know which one it is. Restful ether. Dark purple gemstone? I mean, it doesn't really matter because we're not... Oh, it could be iolite. My guess is that it's iolite that we're looking at. Dark purple. Dark purple. Yeah, it specifically says dark purple. I'm guessing this is the restful ether. Yeah, it's not entirely unpleasant. I'm gonna name this the restful ether. But we're not gonna give it to her. Let's take another look at Witch's Finger. It seems obvious to say it is the severed fingers, but... It does put them in pain. Purification of the body. I don't know if I want to give this to her if it could cause them intense pain and possibly kill them. I'm gonna do it though. She said if I have any other ideas, she's all ears. No, it's not that. Okay. So, that's not the witch's finger. So I'm gonna do something and go to the High Green Church, if I can. High Green Church. The church is old and the roof is in need of repairs. Moss and lichen add splashes of color to the otherwise gray exterior. I wander around to the back of the church where an old yew tree stands. Its gnarled branches scratch gently against faded gravestones in the breeze. The pastor strays into my moment of quiet reflection and imparts some local lore. The tree is known as the Witch of High Green Church, and there are those that believe it to have unnatural powers. While the tree lives, the witch's fingers cut from its limbs are alleged to provide healing through pain. Hold on. Hold on, can I go back? I don't need this. Oops, no. I did not mean to click that. I wanted to go back to High Green Church. Old yew tree. Okay, so we're looking for something made of yew. We had a couple things that were made of yew. Alright, so this specifically says it has a pleasant smell, so I'm guessing we're not getting anything pleasant out of this. Okay. My guess is that this is the witch's finger. Yes. It also features a symbol of witchcraft. Okay. I wasn't looking there. Maybe I could have been a little more careful, but... Okay. I don't know how I feel about that. It's a little bit out of character compared to the other things I've been doing in this playthrough, the choices I've made, but if our goal is to heal these people and get some actual testimony out of them, the way she described the restful meter just made me think it was not going to do the trick. Okay, next customer. Rebecca Rose. Hi! Were you able to paint? I've come to thank you for sharing the wonder of the Ares remnant with me. It has changed my life. I'm still getting to grips with it, but I'm already feeling my way back to painting again. Thank you. Nice. We helped her. He knew what he had to do. Without hesitating, he took hold of his diverging hook and used it to cut away from the infected part of his mind before it could spread and consume him entirely. Diverging hook, I think that was written on one of the pages we got today. I didn't take a look at it that closely, but... Ooh, is this gonna be like a castle tower? Yeah. I am closest to the sunset, but furthest from the sunrise. Okay. Well, there are a few things that could mean. It could be talking about directions, or it could be talking about something else. Before we stop, I'm going to look at what diverging hook says. A diverging hook is a way to carve thoughts from the mind of another. If done with skill, the third party may have no realization that the thought was ever there at all, but it is all too easy to leave the mind in disarray. When approached with care, the unanchored thoughts are easy to lose track of. They have a single gemstone from each of the 3 thaumic branches. Okay. Well, that's good to know. Like I said, this could mean a few different things. My guess is it's talking about... I need to look up which... I can never remember which way is sunset and which way is sunrise, but it could be talking about a tower in the castle that is closest to one cardinal direction and furthest away from another. But we'll try some things out, try and figure that out next time. Until then, I have been Mars, and I will be back with more Strange Antiquities.